Get Rich Slow with John Wolfe. I'm going to go over 10 of the most common misconceptions I hear about credit. The first thing, and it hurts my heart every time I hear something about it, is a client asks me if I will do a soft pull, or I hear somebody tell somebody that, oh, it's just a soft pull on your credit. If you ever hear someone who's trying to sell you a good or service tell you that they're going to do a soft pull, you should stand up and walk away and not listen to anything else they say from that point on, because they are directly lying to you. It's in the contracts of how pulling credit works that anyone who's trying to assign a credit score for the purposes of determining how someone's going to get a good or service, credit-wise, it's always a hard pull. The one exception that you're likely to run into is getting your insurance rate checked. And that's actually because they're not pulling the FICO credit score. They do another thing, different video on that. Another one is a bill collector telling somebody that they will remove a collection or a late record if something is paid. Again, that's completely not allowed. It's transactionally not allowed. If something is actually an error, it can be removed, but if it's an error, you shouldn't be paying it. Now, there are two exceptions to this. The first one is medical bills. If a collection is medical, then once it's paid, the party who is doing the collection is allowed to remove it on the up and up. The last one is super narrow. Under specific circumstances, if you are a military service member and the reason the late payment happened was because you were deployed, then that can be removed after you pay it, but that's very narrow circumstances, and it's actually more narrow than the way I stated it. Free credit reports. Credit Karma, bunch of services, the free credit report that you might get with your Chase card. It costs me roughly $20, like actual cost, to pull someone's credit. The Fair Isaac Corporation does not give freebies. So anything that you're getting for free is a simulation, and I have seen them correct from time to time, but often wildly off. I've actually seen someone have a credit score that was 80 points higher than what Credit Karma said, and I've seen someone have a credit score that was 100 points lower. In the world of loans, 100 points is the difference between qualifying. 700 credit score, you qualify for almost every program. 600 credit score, you barely qualify for most programs and don't qualify for a bunch. That's a world of difference. So something that's off by that much, it's not worth looking to. And you as a consumer should understand the purpose of, especially places like Credit Karma, they're an advertising agent. They're trying to sell referrals of you towards people who provide credit cards and things like that. And they give you a little bit of information, but not necessarily the right information. Another one is that paying off a collection will improve your credit. That's almost completely untrue. If you pay off a collection, your credit score will either stay exactly the same or go down. If you finish paying on a car loan, not a collection, just a car loan, your credit will stay exactly the same. And over time, it might start going down if that's the only thing on your credit. I'm going to get a raise, so my credit's going to get up. I'm switching jobs because my credit's going to get up. Your income or even your debt to income ratio have nothing to do with your credit score. It's not on your credit report. It's not calculated in. Now, you do have to make enough money to pay your bills or get someone to help you to not miss payments to have a good credit score, but the amount of money you make is totally irrelevant. Paying off credit cards monthly will lower your credit score. That's like 99% not true. So there's a little bit of nuance here. So I pay all of my credit cards off at the end of the month and pay no fees because of that. Now, that's a good thing to do. I have good credit. If you're just trying to squeeze every single ounce of possible credit score out of a situation, what you really want to do is do something with every credit card you have every month. So if you're starting from nowhere, get 3 credit cards. It doesn't matter if the maximum balance is only $100 or $300, and once a month buy like a milk or something, and pay it off every month. And just the activity itself will get you a very slightly higher score building. But credit builds pretty fast that way, so I wouldn't worry about it. So the next one is pulling my credit will lower my credit score. So that's true, but it's not true the way people understand it. So pulling your credit will deduct between 0 and 4 points once. That's all. Usually it's 1. And I've experimented with this a lot, and I have a lot of observation from different people. And there's also kind of a loophole, and the loophole is if you get your credit pulled by multiple services or providers within the same industry, even if you do 20 pulls, it counts as 1. Example is, I'm a mortgage loan officer. If I pull your credit and then you go to someone else and they pull your credit, you can do that infinity times within 30 days and it counts as 1 pull. A important exception to know about that is if you go to an auto dealership, that counts as a pull, and when they send it to a credit union, if they are going to send your loan somewhere else, which they basically all do, that counts as another pull, and multiple places there can count as multiple pulls. 1 late payment isn't a big deal. Well, I mean, it's not the end of the world. All is not lost, but 1 late payment can affect your credit a lot. Usually, if you miss a payment on like a little credit card, you should expect to lose 20 to 30 points on your credit score, sometimes more, sometimes less. If you're late on something like a house payment, it's a much bigger deal, especially if you're planning on getting another mortgage loan. Credit takes a long time to build. Well, depends what you mean by a long time, and there is a really important shortcut that people should know about if they have a friend to help them out. So if you are just starting from nowhere, if you get 3 credit cards and you buy your 1 cheap item a month on each of them, pay them off every month, and are not late on anything ever, in 6 months to a year tops, you'll actually have right around a 700 credit score. It's that quick, that easy from 0. Now, you can do it a lot faster if you have a friend or family member who is willing to help you, and they have a credit card account. It's been open for more than 1 year. They don't owe money on it, and it's never had a late payment. If they make you an authorized user, all of the credit history from that card transfers immediately to you. Literally to the extent which a loved one of mine was an authorized user on a gas card account that was opened in 1949, and that was the only thing on her credit bureau. So she had a 780 credit score. And that was added to her just before the credit score was pulled. Married couples have joint credit. Well, this is kind of just a misconception. For mortgage loans, or I believe auto loans as well, you can pull a married couple's credit report together, and we get a really small discount from the Fair Isaac Corporation for doing like a 2-for-1. But each of them have all 3 scores independently, and their scores do not affect each other. In the great state of Oregon, for the purposes of buying a home, if a married couple doesn't buy it together, like just the husband buys it or just the wife buys it, in Oregon, you are 2 sovereign individuals. Nothing affects each other. In Washington, or actually most other states, they're what's called community property states. And that means even if we want to buy a home only in the husband's name, if the wife has student loans, those count to the debt to income ratio, except under some very narrow guidelines. And if you want help with that, please feel free to reach out and give me a call. Anyways, those are my 10 misconceptions. Let me know if that's great and you want more of these videos, and I should make this channel a big part of my day and buy equipment, or if nobody cares, in which case I'll just slowly stop doing these. Anyways, if you like it, I make my living and feed my family doing mortgage loans. So if you're in Oregon or Washington and need one, know someone who does, love it if you think about me. And more than anything else, just comment, subscribe if you want, like something, refer someone else to watch this video. Have an awesome day. Bye.